a ChessUp, chess, a whisper video where I will be playing some relaxing chess on my ChessUp board that I have right here in my ChessUp bag. Here it is, and I will be playing online. Let me power this thing up for you. I will be playing online on a website called chess.com. If you don't know how it works, then it's actually pretty simple. This chessboard here is connected to the Wi-Fi in the ASMR Chess studio, and I am logged in on the chessboard on my profile on chess.com, so I can play here with my physical board against anybody playing on chess.com with their computer. And if you think that sounds cool, and maybe that's something you would like to try out as well, then you are in luck, because I have a deal with ChessUp that all the awesome ASMR Chess viewers will get a 10% discount on the ChessUp products, including the board, if they use the link in the description to this video and the promo code ASMR. So, thanks to Jeff, the awesome guy and inventor behind the ChessUp board, for that little luxury. And yeah, it works very simple. I have a touchscreen over here. I'll just go, yeah, ChessUp on chess.com. I think we could try out some 15 plus 10. I'll just press play. We can try a rated game totally, and then it will search for somebody for me to play against, and then we just play. And the board will of course show the moves that my opponent, or our opponent here, will make. And we can see we are playing against somebody named Blunder Graduate with a rating of 1694, and they played d4, we play knight f6, and I actually had retired the Budapest defense because of something we invented here on the channel called the cool hair attack variation against the Budapest, but I will give it a go. For old time's sakes, I play the Budapest with pawn to e5. They play d takes e5, and the move here is knight to g4, and you can see how the ChessUp board highlights all the legal moves. It does, however, not give me any assistance. That is not allowed when you play online, because that would be cheating. But if I were playing against a friend sitting opposite me, who may be a much stronger player than myself, then we could agree that the ChessUp board could say, I will highlight all the legal moves for you with the black pieces, and I will put blue moves that are blunders, I would put them in red, for instance. Or you could go all the way up to, it will put green for the recommended moves, and yellow and blue and red for like to show you what the stockfish thinks about the position. So now we see pawn to e3. After I played bishop to c5, we play knight to c6, and right now this is about the knights coordinating here on e5. And we want to recapture this pawn. And I am very happy to see the way my opponent has been spending their time. Some people in the comments noted that the first person I was playing, the first rapid game I played on the ChessUp board, it seemed suspicious that the opponent took almost exactly the same amount of time for each move. And that can be a little disconcerting, or it can be a little hard to play against, because you get that feeling that, oh, is my opponent cheating, there's no way to know for sure. But when you get that sneaking suspicion, you can sometimes be very hard to play the game, because you know that if they are cheating, it doesn't matter what you do, you will lose the game. But I don't think I should talk too much more about the whole cheating issue. Everybody knows that it's something that's going on to some extent, and I think that we shouldn't be too paranoid. We should just assume that that people are being honest, and this looks like a very honest move. Queen to d5. I'll throw in queen to e7, and the reason I say that I feel that this is a very honest move is that this is not what a computer would play in this position unless you forced it to. It's completely playable line for white, but it's not the move that gives the hardest, the best advantage for white. So with the queen move here, I'm defending my bishop, and I am also adding another attacker to the e5 pawn, so that I can come in with the knight and capture. Knight captures, knight captures, and there's no queen captures because they would lose their queen to queen takes e5. And I would say with this that I am very happy with how the opening has gone, because this opening is a little bit dubious, and there are some more trying, more testing responses that white can do against the opening, that will leave black with an uncomfortable position, not a losing position or anything, but an uncomfortable position. And this one is not this variation white has played here is not one of the most testing ones. So pawn to a3 is something we have to defend against, because it threatens pawn to b4. Therefore we play pawn to a5, so we can meet pawn to b4 with pawn takes pawn, and there is no pawn takes pawn because rook takes rook. And this has a sort of hidden extra little point. This pawn to a5 move is that in some positions the rook can come to a6 and swing all the way over to the king side in a very unusual manner. Also, in some variations, the bishop can hide on a7, even come back to b8, and then we play c6 and d5 to open up the bishop on that diagonal. So, even though we are currently a pawn down, we are pretty happy with the position, and indeed we get to win back the pawn right away. So they play b3 and we play knight on g takes on e5. So now material equality has been restored. And I am guessing we could see a move like bishop to b2 here, to which I would reply knight takes knight. And if they play queen takes knight, I have knight e5 with a comfortable position, I believe. And if we see something else, I could still consider playing knight takes c6, knight coming to e5. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. Chess is a complicated game. I can spend this time here giving a shout out to Lars and everybody else who's been asking for Whisper videos. So they play knight takes knight. I'm very happy when my viewers let me know in the comments what they would like to see. I can't, of course, make everything, but yeah, it really helps to motivate me and for instance, to Whisper videos when I can see that people enjoy them. They play knight takes knight, we play knight takes knight. And here I'm guessing bishop to b2 will be the move, to which we should probably, sadly, reply pawn to d6. And the reason I say sadly is that then this cool plan of rook a6 and rook coming to, for instance, h6 is not going to work. But I don't see any other reasonable way to keep this knight defended. I will say that they may be threatening pawn to f4 after a move like d6, but it looks very, very, very weakening. So I will just play pawn to d6, keep the knight defended, and everything should be pretty easy from here until white shows their hand, shows where they want to go with this game. So we could, of course, see a simplification: bishop takes knight, queen takes, but then I would be, and then queen takes and pawn takes, and the mass exchanges on e5, but that would leave me with the two bishops, no pawn weaknesses, and just a comfortable position. So a more testing move would be pawn to f4, chasing away the knight, maybe trying to win the pawn on b7 with the bishop, but it leaves so many squares. For instance, f4, knight to g4, bishop takes b7, queen takes e3, and it looks like I'm checkmating there. So I'm not too afraid of pawn to f4, and if we don't see anything else really challenging, then probably we can castle after white's next move. That should be possible. And if we get to castle in something just remotely resembling this position, then we have gotten out of the opening with basically no problems at all. Okay, we see pawn to g3, preparing to fianchetto the bishop. I'm immediately thinking that that this square looks extremely weak. So, for instance, playing something like bishop here, with the idea of knight coming here, and if bishop goes to g2, then I push this pawn. Because if the queen comes here, it's not defended. So I play knight check and I capture the queen. And I think that's my plan. Also, if they don't, like, of course I'll play pawn to c6 now. and queen here, and I could have even pawn to f5 there, but then queen here, but then actually pawn to g5, and the queen is trapped even. That's pretty crazy. Here, queen here, and if here, and if they could go all the way back here. I think the problem here I see with the bishop move, bishop coming to g4, is that they may choose to chop off the knight. And then let's say queen takes, pawn takes, and then there's no big threat anymore. Let's say bishop here, the chop off the knight. Yeah, there's nothing really that interesting going on there. So I will play pawn to c6, chasing this queen away. And I'm simply looking at the f3 square for the knight, trying to get that to work. And okay, the queen, they see the point, but this is of course a concession on their part. I believe that just castling here should be pretty good. We could also play this bishop move that kind of forces queen takes, bishop takes knight, queen takes, and that's also pretty good because we are attacking the rook would have to move. And so that's probably pretty good. So I think we will try that. I think we will try this little move here, trying to push them back. I think the opening has been a success at this point. We have a superior development. The queen is pretty awkward here on g2. Okay, this knight comes in like so, which, I mean, wait a minute, do I have something super cool like takes, check, takes, check? No, because then bishop goes back, and that's enough because the queen will be protecting the bishop. And I don't have anything further in that position, so I think just castling here. And seeing what they want to do, I think just castling and probably castling kingside. Just castling kingside, I think, should be pretty good here. Okay, they go for kicking the bishop. They are annoyed by the bishop. Makes sense. And they kick the bishop more. Makes sense. We drop the bishop back. But the bishop is also pretty good here. Supporting, for instance, a possible knight to d3 check at some point. Maybe that may be something we want to do. And yeah, I think that perhaps the queen comes here. Which is a pretty good square for the queen. I believe we need to get some rooks on this file. So a move like rook to e8 looks very reasonable. And we may be able to get a sacrifice to work at some point on d3. However, right now it doesn't look like it's really doing that much, particularly not with the queen now defending the square. Had the queen been on h4, then I think it could actually be winning to just play bishop takes, pawn takes, knight check, bishop takes, queen check, and picking up the bishop at the very least. So we will get 2 pawns and a bishop for a knight and a bishop with a pretty raging attack against the king, with also this bishop being extremely strong in that position. So, but the queen is not on h4. The queen is on g3, and with the queen on g3, it's not exactly clear for me how to develop. But it seems to me that we have a very nice position. Okay, the bishop comes to e2. Has to look out for both of these squares. The king is getting ready to castle, but we absolutely could stop the king from castling by exchanging the bishop. I think it's time to do that. Even though we've been so happy with this monstrous knight in the center, I think knight d3, bishop takes, and bishop takes. Perhaps they have pawn to d3 there, don't we just take? So I think that's how we want to play this with here. And they have to take that, so we do win. We do win the 2 bishops, and we are making sure that white can't castle to the king side. Of course, white could castle to the queen side, but that also looks a little risky. The reason that white can't castle to the queen side, even with the bishop here, is that the king will not move over an attacked square. This is the attacked square. The king is not allowed to move over an attacked square. The rook, however, is. Now, if we could just get the queen to move away from the defense of this pawn on e3, then I believe we would be winning. So that also means that in general, white does not have that many moves. Can't castle to the king side, probably doesn't want to castle to the queen side, but will maybe be forced to. The rooks aren't doing that much. I mean, this rook coming to d1 is possible. But I guess I can chase it away with bishop here, but then rook here, then bishop back, and then it's a repetition, which is not what we want. I'm also considering possible pawn breaks. A move like pawn to b5. I mean, if they castle to the king side, we are probably playing pawn to b5. A move like pawn to d5. Pawn takes. I mean, it's also possible. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's all that good. The knight comes here, blocking the defense from the queen to the pawn. So I believe bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, check. King will have to go here, and then check, and then checkmate. So I believe bishop takes here is going to win us the game. Let's take a look. So I believe we are checkmating on c2. Although I'm not necessarily 100% sure. I think if we do end up winning this game, what we can do is I can go over to the computer and I can take a look with the game review on chess.com to take a look at how we played. They resigned. They simply resigned from this position. Fantastic. So let's take a look. So just if they did play pawn takes here, then so they resigned the game. But if they played, we have this check, and because of the bishop here, the king cannot go here. There's nothing you can put in between. That means the only legal move is to put the king here. Again, we can give a good check. We can give this check, and again, there's only one legal move, which is to go here, and then the queen coming here would be checkmate. So they resigned the game, which is of course fantastic. We had a great game there. Now let me go over to the computer and do a little bit of analysis to find out how we played here. Okay, so we are at chess.com and we will go to the archive of our games, and there it is, the game we just played on the ChessUp board, and I will click review to have the ChessUp board game be analyzed in.
Amazing. Winning the game with a brilliant move. Let's take a look.
Okay, I don't think it recorded that, but this guy just said out loud in my headphones, amazing, winning the game with a brilliant move. Let's take a look. So, yeah, if you don't know how this works, there is an AI in here that has analyzed the game with some chess AI and has given us some insight, so we can go over the game and see how it went and what we can do better and stuff. And we played with an accuracy of 84.7%. So 100% would be a perfect game. So for somebody like me, that's pretty good. I had one brilliant move, 8 best moves, and 2 misses apparently. Then I had 5 book moves, 1 inaccuracy, 0 mistakes. I had 2 good moves, okay. And it believes that I played, the game rating is like I played like a 2100 player. Which, I mean, I'll take that. So let's press start.
The queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads.
So I'll have to mute this guy. So it tells me that this is a book move. I know this, and it usually leads to more positional development of the pieces. So absolutely, we know about this. And now it says knight c6 is the last book move. It develops knight towards the center and attacks the e5 pawn. So absolutely, this is an opening I know very well. So here it says g3 is a blunder. This permits the opponent to eventually win a queen. So that is very, very interesting. So how can I win the queen? So this is a mix. This is a miss. I could have played something better here. So we can now get the change. So it says it's still good for black with minus 0.96, so almost a pawn worth of advantage. But let's retry this and consider how we could have won the queen. There is this move with an attack on the queen, and we were considering this. Let's see this. I don't see how we can make it so that the queen will not back all the way down here. I don't see that. I don't see how we will eventually win a queen here. I just do not see that. There's, for instance, this move. But how is the queen? The queen will. Well, the queen in that position, the queen can go here or here, because this knight fork would get. No, wait a minute. This is not. I'll ask for a hint. Okay, it is something with this bishop. It says this bishop is good. Maybe here or here. There's no way to play this. Sacrifice the bishop doesn't do anything. If I put it here immediately, and we see this, and then here we were thinking about stuff like that. I think I'll try this. What is that? Oh, it's a blunder. It also overlooks. Okay, so I'll try this then. No. But they're all okay, the moves, but this one, it's also blunder. What? So it is this? No. Wait, haven't I tried? Oh no, of course. I'll go here with this idea. So simple. So simple. I got lost in the tree of variations, in the forest of variations with all the stuff that I had been looking at, simply not seeing that this move, and then here, and that's just winning. So, for instance, if they play this, I just go here with the bishop, the queen would have to move, and I would capture the bishop, and I have an absolutely winning position. Okay, so what is the next thing we can learn? This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces with h3, and yeah, they still should have played this bishop out because their position is not so good. And okay, it says this move is brilliant. I mean, it's not the hardest move ever to find. It does, of course. Include a sacrifice, but with the queen and rook and the bishop here, and the king has no protection. I mean, but of course I'll take it. So I can retry. I don't know why I can retry. I'll go next. No, it's because it's the last move of the game, of course. Yeah. Okay, so I missed one idea. Pretty simple idea, but other than that, I am pretty happy with how I played this game. So I think I should go back and just do it again, make a new video for you people, and let me know in the comments if you like it. Do you enjoy the whispering? Do you enjoy how I use this ChessUp board? And yeah, I hope you had a great time, and that you are very relaxed wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for checking in and watching this video, or just listening to this video. And I hope I will see you in the next video.